Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Dunkirk, written and directed by Christopher Nolan, and I haven't seen all of his films, and the ones I've seen are the Dark Knight trilogy and Interstellar, and that's it. And I have some catching up to do with that, but that's for another time. Anyways, so Dunkirk is based off the true story about 400,000 men who were at war and trying to get home. And that's as simple as I'm going to keep it because you don't need a whole lot because there's not a ton of substance to this movie. When down to its core, and what I mean by that is, sure, there's a reason to watch and it's based on true events, but really, story-wise, there's not a whole lot that happens. It's just things happening. It's based on true events. Soldiers trying to survive. That's really all you need to know. Anyways, so did I like this movie? Yeah, it's really solid. I thought it was great. So, first off, the performances are pretty strong, and this is a film that doesn't have a lot of dialogue. It's not, you don't learn about these characters through dialogue. You learn it through visuals, by visually looking at things. And when you see what these characters are doing, you see what they are, and not so much about talking about their past or families or anything that would be basic in a war film. And also one thing is, Christopher Nolan, I think, wanted this to be a survival story, not a war film. And it really does feel like a survival story because it's not about the war, it's about surviving. Next up is the cinematography. It's really the movies that I've seen of Christopher Nolan, all the cinematography, the camera work, and the score, and just the way everything looks, it all has a professional feel to it. And what I mean by that is, it feels like it's been done by someone who knows what they're doing. Nothing against other directors or filmmakers out there, but I just really like the way his films look so far. And the score, even though it's not a huge variety of a score, it's basically just you hear a clock ticking, tick, 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 tick. Oh, sorry, that's wrong direction, but you just hear a ticking sound of a clock, and you feel that there's a sense of urgency to keep moving. And it's well in that regard, and I really liked it. And the pacing in this movie isn't exactly fast. It takes its time. Everything kind of feels slow and fast, I think is how I want to say it. I know that's very confusing. It's like, what do you mean, slow and fast? Does that mean the pacing's off? Or in a sense, you could say that, but in here it kind of felt natural because Christopher Nolan wanted a realistic take. And so far from what I've seen, what he does is he likes to have a realistic take on everything. And as far as this film goes, it does feel as if it's going how it should. Let's get into the action sequences in this movie, and the sound design is really, you feel like you're there. The sound design brings you into the film. It's very loud. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because it should be loud. Because, well, I don't think I need to explain why it should be loud. Because outside of explosions are going off right next to our main character. And I'll get into my issues later, but from a technical standpoint, I love this movie. The acting's great, and the music I really like. The script, I feel, knows what it's supposed to be, which is a survival story. As far as issues go, the only issues I have with this movie are just little nitpicks of things. Like, there was like a shot that was kind of this. Supposedly, the whole screen is a shot, and I'm gonna try and make it circle. I mean, not a circle, square. Sorry. And the amount that I drew, if you're imagining that, there are a couple of shots like in the end, and when I mean a couple, there's like 2 shots where that space of the screen was like shining light, and only that amount on the screen was shined. And I'm not sure what happened. I thought it was questionable. And there's some text on the screen that I'm not too sure. I get a couple things, but the time thing, I'm a little confused. Because they say, like, something. If someone could explain what that is, I would appreciate that down below. But I'm getting a little off track. So, just a little minor nitpicks. But overall, this is a fantastic movie, and I can see why some people don't like this simply because they want more character development, or they wanted Christopher Nolan to go for an R rating, which, to be honest, I'm not sure how much that would add from a storytelling perspective, because I felt like I was there. Maybe people just wanted a little bit more, but I'm fine. I highly recommend going to see Dunkirk. I think it's a fantastic movie and a great experience. Supposedly it's great in IMAX. I didn't see it in IMAX. So I'm going to give Dunkirk an A+. And you might be thinking, why'd you give it an A+? Didn't you have like low flaws? I've come to the conclusion A+ on my channel is not going to mean perfect, because I can't think of a perfect movie off the top of my head that if you nitpick this or that or this or that, because any movie can be nitpicked. Every movie has plot holes, but will you notice them? I don't know. But in here, I couldn't get enough of this movie, and I really loved it. Thank you for watching. As always, you can comment down below what you thought of Dunkirk, or anything I wanted you to talk about or asked. Or you can also look up to see if I'm wrong, if Dunkirk is a war film or a survival story. And like this video, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. A link for that will be in the description below. And have a great day.